Welcome back, everybody. My name is Maximilian Korsch, and you all know me as Bloodfencer. Or at least you would know me if anything had been happening on this channel in the past 2 years. Yeah, I haven't uploaded anything in a while, and I'm here to explain to you why that is, what has happened, what has changed in the meantime, and kind of talk to you about the future of this channel because as I'm as astonished as I am about that fact, this channel actually has viewers or subscribers, and quite a lot of them. Like in the time that I was completely inactive, I've got almost 100 of you people. And holy shit, this webcam looks shit. Yeah, I definitely need a better one. Yeah, this isn't made for like full resolution. Yeah, no, it doesn't get better. Anyway, so what has happened? Um, let's get right into it. So, this is actually my second attempt because the first time I recorded this, I went on this whole 30-minute talk about how I wasn't feeling well mentally and everything, and OBS didn't actually record any audio. So now I get to go through it all again. Anyway, I'm not the most successful person, and I don't mean in terms of like viewers on YouTube or Twitch. I mean just in general life. I've been bumbling through life from kind of one thing to another, and I've never really gotten anywhere. And as you can imagine, that kind of tears you down inside a bit, emotionally and mentally. And I I've been aware that I was probably suffering from depression for quite a long time. I think it goes back as early as at least 2012, maybe 2013. And it all just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where um, at this point 3 years ago in 2017, I just wanted to give up entirely. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a few more months and then I'll just go away. um, then my university gave me this incredible opportunity of going to the US for an exchange year. um, well, less a year, more 9 months, but might have been a year. And it was really amazing because we have all these different exchange programs at my university, and they have a really good one with the University of Tennessee at Martin. And nobody applied to go, so they were kind of running around looking for people to go, and I I got interested because at that point I was just really miserable. I was thinking of my apartment, where I live, where I sleep, where I eat. I started to see it more as a cage rather than a home, and I felt like I could just never get out of it, and that was making me feel very, very sad. So I took the chance of going to America because I was hoping at the time that maybe it could give me back something that I had lost some time ago, that it would reinvigorate me and make me a happier person, that maybe everything would turn around. And even if it did, even if it didn't, if it did not, I thought to myself I could at least make it a worthwhile experience for myself and have that kind of be a nice bookend of my lifetime. So, I'm going to talk about my experience at the university in a different video and with a little bit more detail later on. But I can just say I absolutely love my time at Martin. Just seeing how different universities are in America than they are here in Germany. Like, we don't typically have dormitories. You kind of have to find an apartment in the city where you study and have to figure out yourself how to get to class every day. just being able to live in a dormitory and walk 5 minutes to your next classroom is absolutely amazing. Also really lazy. But the greatest benefit was, of course, I was welcomed very warmly by the staff of the dormitory, but also a bunch of students from the language and culture clubs who were really excited to meet me and the other exchange students. There were a lot of people from Japan, and they were all lovely people. I hung out with a lot of them most of the time. And yeah, being in those dorms was just, it was a fantastic experience because I was getting to a point back before I went to America where I was just getting irritated when I was dealing with people, but at the same time I was very lonely. Like I wanted human contact, but as soon as people were around me, I would just get really irritated and hated it. And in America, I had the option to stay inside of my dorm, but more often than not, one of my friends would come by and be like, "Hey, you want to grab some food?" Or "Hey, you want to hang out and watch some movies?" Or "Hey, can you help us study this thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." I had people around me all the time, and it was absolutely amazing because they were just available outside of their classes, but they were just there and were willing to do stuff with me, and they were already fun and cool people. I was also very successful while I was studying there. I had like straight A's in all of my classes. Um, and they actually put me on the list for how do you call those high achieving students, valedictorians, something like that. I think I was on that list for both of the semesters that I studied there. Anyway, I came back and I was really tired because the journey was very long. There were a few problems here and there with delays and stuff. Also, the jet lag was horrible. The time difference between where I live and Martin is about 7 hours. So when I came back to Germany, I was lagging 7 hours behind what I should be, from where I should be. So if it was late afternoon here, I would feel like early afternoon. And I was very irritated, and I thought it was just because I was very tired, but it wasn't just that. I was super sad to be back here, not seeing those people that I had met and come to love, and being back in this cage. And I just started crying my eyes out every other day, sometimes every day. I didn't want to keep going. I had daily thoughts of just ending it all. And that went on for about 3 months, which is an absolutely horrible amount of time when you're feeling that way. And I got to the point where I was almost ready to actually just do it, but then I didn't. I went to talk to my sister, and she was very supportive, and she helped me make a plan on how to deal with the whole situation. She told me my university has a psychotherapeutic ambulatory service where you can go and you can just talk to people. It's not a real therapy, but at least it's like they can help you deal with your depression, and they can tell you where to go, how to find help. And that was the first step. Then my general practitioner referred me to a psychologist. She prescribed me some meds. I'm now taking medication, and everything's doing pretty good. Like the ones that I'm taking, they are not that strong, but they keep the bad thoughts away. And I'm not. They don't have any bad side effects as far as I can tell. And that psychologist also gave me a list with a bunch of therapists that are here in the area, and She made sure to, so she was, because of the suicidal thoughts that I had, it was kind of immediate. There was an immediate need for me to get help. So she made sure to point out a few therapists that were relatively new or that didn't have a lot of patients right now. The therapist that I'm seeing now actually just started her own practice back around the same time when I came back from the US. So last summer she started practicing on her own. Before that, she was working for a psychotherapeutic ambulance at the not the one for the university, the one at the hospital, I think. And that, so she has a lot of experience. She's very nice. I feel like I'm in very good hands. And so that's the medical side of things, of how I've kind of started turning my life around a little bit. Some other things is, or some other things that I did are, grammar is important, children. Um, because I feel like I'm such a loser. Like, I can't do anything. I don't have any skills. I can't do things that become successful. I started with some small projects. Like, I finally got a new bed. My old one was very old. Like, the mattress and the frame were over 10 years old. The frame was very creaky. The mattress was full of weird stains. Most of them were coffee stains, don't worry. No blood or pee, but a lot of sweat also, I think. This is turning gross. I didn't mention that in my in my practice run earlier. But yeah, I picked out a new bed at IKEA. They delivered it to this place, and I put it together all by myself. And it just feels amazing to know that you can do stuff with your hands, and it's just, and you have created this thing. And I sleep really well in that bed. Then I also wasn't happy with the setup for my Leopard Gecko, like with his whole vivarium. So I bought a new vivarium and I did some stuff with it. I set it up all nice, put Gino into it. And at first, of course, he was a little bit apprehensive because he was in a new area that didn't smell like him. I, of course, made sure to put in some of the things from his old tank in there with him so that he would at least have a small corner of safety. And when he slowly started coming out of his cave and looked around, and he's actually really enjoying the new tank setup now. Uh, so those were some small successes, and one of the big problems I've always had with my self-esteem was my weight issues. As you can see, I'm not the most lean of people. Like my face, look at this, look at this. Um, but I have actually looked worse. And that is the amazing thing. Back around that time where I was trying to get things straightened out, I stumbled upon a video where this person, it's a YouTuber who makes content for Pokemon. It was around the time that Sword and Shield came out, um, like towards the end of November, and it just got randomly suggested to me by the YouTube algorithm. All hail the mighty algorithm! And he talked about his own experiences with overweight and being diabetic. I don't have diabetes. I could get diabetes at any time. Actually, I have like a genetic marker for it. But type 2 diabetes. Like I'm predisposed, predestined. I have a genetic weakness towards developing type 2 diabetes. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and he actually almost died of like ketoacidosis, which is when your blood just goes full on acid and tries to kill you. So he had to try a new diet and change his life, and he discovered keto. And the video was an hour and 30 minutes long, and I was like, oh my god, what is he trying to sell me? I give you 10 minutes to convince me that this is worth my time. And it was absolutely worth my time, because he went into all this detail, first telling his own experience, then talking about the actual nutritional and dietary benefits of going keto, like having a ketogenic diet. And for those of you who don't know what that is, ketogenic diet is a more extreme version of low carb. Basically, I'm trying to eat around 20 to 50 grams of carbs a day, which is very little, so that my metabolism switches from burning sugar to get energy to burning fat to get energy. And what the great thing about that is, it does that 24 hours a day. I lose weight when I sleep. And it works out really well for me, because it's the first diet that actually really works for me. Because the food is really delicious. Like, you do a lot with meat and cheese. You can also do a keto diet while being vegan, which is very important. So you don't have to eat a lot of meat. I'm not vegan. I like meat, so I do it that way. To each their own, really. As long as it's healthy and it makes you happy, do what you want. If you're vegan, I support that. If you're vegetarian, I support that. If you only eat fish, maybe eat a little bit of vegetable on the side, because eating one thing is really bad for you. Just look at pandas and koala bears. They have a very singular diet. That's not good. But so long as you're healthy, yes, I support you. And I've actually lost 10 kilograms since I started it, which was in December. So I lost 10 kilograms in 2 months, and that's about 22 pounds. I've lost 22 pounds in 2 weeks. It's amazing. And I don't have to do any exercise. Okay, this is not my self pitch for keto. It's just saying that I changed my diet and it had positive effects on my physical health and my mental health, because I now look at myself and I think, yeah, I'm not looking too bad actually. And I actually have a lot of energy now. Like, the biggest example being the early mornings. I'm not a morning person. I still have trouble like waking up, like in my head. But as soon as I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start the day, I literally just jump to my feet and I'm ready to do it. And before I started doing keto, I would slowly just climb out of bed, and it was very strenuous and there was a lot of effort involved and it didn't feel good. But now I do. So So that's some things that I changed around here. Another big change, which is actually relevant to this channel and my activities on the internet, is for the very first time in my life, I built my own computer. Because my old computer had a fatal misfunction that wiped my hard drives, but also damaged the CPU and the motherboard. So that was horrible. So I had to invest a little bit of money making a new computer, and basically I'm broke now. There are a lot of other things that I would like to improve, but let's talk about that in a minute. So this YouTube channel, I want to get back into producing content for the channel. It's probably not going to be as regular as back when back in the day. I think I uploaded like 3 videos a week, sometimes 4, and the format's gonna change a little bit. I actually want to get a video editing software at some point and actually learn how to properly edit videos, make them more interesting, like cut out all the boring bits in between and just focus on the highlights. Maybe make some review videos where I first play the game, gather a bunch of footage, and then do a voiceover and stuff like that. So content updates are gonna be less often, but hopefully higher quality. And aside from YouTube, I'm also going to be more active on Twitch again. I have a schedule right now. I made a new schedule. Um, by the way, all the information, the Twitch channel and my Twitter account where I always post when I go live, and sometimes I post other stuff like pictures of my gecko and other things that are going on in my life. I'll put those down in the doobly-doo so that you can check those out. The schedule right now is I'll be streaming Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Sundays and Tuesdays are going to be at 5 p.m. GMT. So if you live in the UK, it's 5 p.m. for you. If you don't live in the UK, you have to figure it out from there. But there is a schedule countdown on my channel, which I think automatically calculates the actual time zone for you where you are, and it also has a countdown, so it straight up tells you how long it's gonna take for you to for me to go live. Um, yeah, and on Fridays I'm streaming a little bit earlier at 4 p.m. because I've never really been into watching other Twitch streamers myself. Like, I just didn't see the point of tuning into someone playing games live, which is kind of ironic when you're someone who tries to do it himself. Um, but yeah, um, I got into actually watching streams myself, and there are streamers that I want to see at certain times, and I'm trying to reduce our schedule overlap as much as possible so that I can actually go watch those people, maybe raid them with my followers. So if you follow me here on YouTube and you've enjoyed my content in the past, please think about consider joining my following my Twitch account. Um, and Twitch is pretty much gonna be where I'll try to rally as much support for myself and try to grow my brand and my content as much as possible. I don't accept donations right now. I don't want to go around begging for money, even though there's a lot of stuff that I want to improve, and obviously you need money for that. But I think personally I feel it's a little bit disingenuous if you just started out streaming and you immediately ask people for money. I mean, there's a lot of really, really generous people out there who just want to help you out, but I would feel very bad to take money from people without first making sure that I offer them quality content. So no donations right now. My goal is to get at least to affiliate status, maybe partnered at some point in the far future. But some of the things that I want to improve is right now I've got really terrible lighting for the webcam, so I eventually want to get a stream light. I want to get a better webcam because you can see the quality of this really isn't all that good. And I want to get a green screen eventually, and the big incentive for supporting me, I want to set up a gecko cam. I'm going to try and figure out how to set up a camera that is targeted at my leopard gecko's favorite sleeping spot. And during my streams, I will activate it so that people can look at Gino doing his thing, and it'll be really cute, hopefully. uh, but yeah, that's basically the big incentive. And maybe if some money's left, I'll use it to pay my rent every month. So that's kind of a that's the future of this channel. All right, so I I realized, or I finally accepted, to summarize this whole video, I realized and accepted that I am suffering depression. I finally got help. I got to a point where I feel good enough that I can actually try and start new things and try to improve old projects of mine like this channel and Twitch. And I just want to thank everyone who's supported this channel just by being subscribed during these past 2 years that I've been inactive. Like I said, I think I've mentioned it. Maybe that was the other video. I'm really confused now because, like I said, this is the second take because the first time it didn't record any audio. I got a lot of subscribers just while I was not doing anything, and there were actually people going to the comment section on my channel being like, "Hey dude, how are you doing? Where are you? When are we gonna get more content? Hope you're doing well." And I absolutely love you. That was really heartwarming. Thanks for everyone who said that they wish me well and that they want me to come back because they actually think I'm funny, because that's always something that I struggle with, like thinking of myself as someone who can actually entertain people. And being already depressed and having a YouTube and a Twitch channel that didn't really seem to grow, it just made me feel even more worthless. But actually seeing that there is a demand for this kind of content, it's honestly amazing, and I hope that I can make it even better. So once again, the future for this channel is looking a bit brighter now. I'm not going to delete it. It's going to continue. I'm going to try my best to make the quality content that you deserve. And I will see you all around. Maybe down in the comment section. Maybe during a stream. I'm looking forward to it. Bye bye.